Hi Libra, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, so as opening in front of us, the Celtic crossword as always. And I also pulled the Four Agreements and Wisdom Oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Pluto, and Pluto is actually retrograde in Aquarius, which is your fifth house of romance, creativity, and children. Alright, we have Taurus, and for you guys, Taurus is actually your eighth house of theft, rebirth, intimacy, and investments. It's a little more quiet there, astrologically speaking, but you could just be feeling some effects of that. And we have 7. So 7th house energy for you guys is actually Aries, and that's your house of relationships. And of course, there will be a full moon in Aries on October 6th. Currently, we still have Neptune in Aries. It will eventually go into Pisces on the 22nd of October. And we've had Chiron there for quite some time as well. So yeah, so definitely some energies going on in your 7th house. And then going back to this energy here, I will say when we get to November, there will be Uranus going back into Taurus. So you guys might see some situations resurfacing from the previous time Uranus was in Taurus as it gets closer to that transit. But again, that might be more of a November thing for you guys. All right, but we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Three of Cups, Cancer energy, and challenging that we have the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. So, especially given that this is your birthday season, this could just be as simple as saying that, people might want to come out and celebrate with you, but you might be feeling a little bit more withdrawn, right? Maybe they want to do something a little bit more extravagant than you feel comfortable doing right now. And for some of you, it could be as simple as, maybe there's a financial component to that, but for others of you, it could just be saying that you just might be feeling a little bit more withdrawn than usual in general. In the foundation position, we have the Tower. So for some of you, maybe there is something that happened to you recently, and that's possibly why you're a little bit more withdrawn, right? And then I could also see how this could be playing out in that context there, where let's just say, you have people coming to celebrate your birthday, right? And they're trying to have a more light and playful energy. But if there's something a little bit heavier that you're dealing with beneath the surface, you might think to yourself, well, okay, it's supposed to be a light, playful, vibrant mood for a birthday celebration, right? So I don't really want to bring this stuff up to them. The timing might not be right, stuff like that, right? So it could just be holding back what's really on your mind underneath the surface this month. All right. In the past position, we have the Devil. So this could just be saying that maybe this is something that you might have felt really tethered to, right? Something that maybe you wanted to break free from, but you were having difficulty doing so. For some of you, maybe this is some kind of an addiction, right? Whatever the case may be. But yeah, it looks like that's what it's saying you could have been dealing with. And now it looks like you might have been broken free from that, but of course there could still be that residual effect lingering from it. In the present position, we have the Two of Pentacles. So a lot of Capricorn energy coming up here, which for you guys is your 4th house, and that points to home, your roots, family. So it could just be one of those things where this could be something close to home that, again, is having a big impact on you, but like I said, for whatever reason, you just might not feel comfortable expressing it to others. Which, like I said, I get it, right? In the context of things where you're thinking, people are coming to celebrate my birthday, this wouldn't be the ideal time to get into some deep conversation about something heavier, right? So you could just be pushing it off for that reason. All right, in the near future position, we have the Six of Wands. So Leo energy here. So yeah, so this definitely looks like people around you in your environment do want to celebrate you, right? They do want to give you recognition. I feel like they are coming through with good intentions here as well. But again, like I said, I feel like for some of you, at the very least, this is like, presenting that front of everything being okay, but still dealing with something beneath the surface as well. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Seven of Swords. So yeah, so like I said, to me, this seems to all be linked into that repeating message there, where it looks like there's just something you're holding back, right? Now, this would point to potential self-sabotage there, right? So, I don't think you're intentionally trying to deceive anyone or anything. But again, like I said, I feel like you probably have good intentions behind doing so. We're like, oh, this isn't the time and the place to talk about something heavier, so I'll just, hold that back for the time being. But given that this is coming up here, I feel like this is saying, just be real with yourself. If you really do feel like that's for the greater good, then by all means go with that. But if not, just realize you might be self sabotaging yourself by handling it that way. All right. In the environment position, we have the Nine of Wands. So, yeah, so for some of you, it could just be saying that because you're getting all this attention right now, right? It could just be one of those things where normally maybe that'd be great, where you get it, like, okay, it's my birthday season, but I feel like it's just there's a part of you that feels like the timing isn't right, right? Where you're like, okay, I get it, right? I'm not going to tell people to not wish me a happy birthday, to not reach out, right? But I need a little time to myself to sort things out, right? So you could be feeling that push pull dynamic there. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Chariot. So yeah, so I will say, given that there's like this dynamic with Cancer energy and Capricorn energy, for some of you, this could be one of those things too, where maybe there's something, maybe you have some concerns around your careers, right? So you're like, okay, I don't really want to, this might not be the ideal time to go out and spend money, right? Because I don't know, maybe my career's in flux right now, stuff like that. So if that's the case, I feel like this is saying that, you are hoping to move forward, right? Maybe some of you are waiting to hear on a job opportunity or something like that. So that's why you're a little bit in flux right now. But yeah, that's what I see with that. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Fool. So at the very least, I feel like this is a good energy to see an outcome, because to me, this says that ultimately, whatever heaviness you guys do seem to be holding on to right now, as we progress through the month, it looks like you are going to be feeling a lot more light and free. So that's definitely a positive there. Right. And bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups. So yeah, so this is more Cancer energy here, and can be an indicator that for some of you, maybe this is ultimately what it's about, right? Where, like I said, maybe you're in flux when it comes to your career, you're waiting for some kind of a job offer, right? Maybe the things you've been getting to this point haven't necessarily been too exciting, right? So you could just be a little bit worried about that. Like, okay, should I be going out right now when I'm really not sure where my finances are going to be headed, stuff like that. Well, if that's the case, it looks like you will see some positive movement. If not right away, at least as we get later into October. All right, from the four agreements, we have be impeccable with your word, and it says realize the power of your word, which is an interesting message there, because I will say, Libra, you guys have Mercury coming into your sign today, pretty much, so definitely a positive there. But let's see what it says. All right, it says your word is the power that you have to create. It is a gift that comes directly from God. So yeah, if anything, right, given that, like I said, it feels like some of you might be holding back a little bit when it comes to communication. Hopefully that will remind you that actually there could be some good out of coming out of you using your words, rather. So definitely something to think about there. All right, and from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have community. There's the artwork, and the number is 8. All right. Essential meanings says belonging, being seen and understood by others, like minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. The Oracle's message. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Memberships in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are a part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, especially for those of you who might feel like you do want to withdraw to an extent. The relationship message says you're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another, and perhaps also those you don't share. These are times when you follow and the other person leads. There are times when you follow and the other person leads, and times when you lead and the other person follows. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another. Accepting the truth that everyone has flaws is part of that dance, yet you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat. You're in the perfect place to make change in order to experience the best version of who you can be together. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, especially the part about being aware of the dynamics that you don't want to repeat, because in the relationship context, that could be what that's pointing to there with the Seven of Swords, right? Maybe this tendency to self-sabotage around that. All right, the prosperity message says, whenever you're in a community of like-minded others, there is a powerful opportunity to reap great abundance. It's essential to ask, what can I contribute, rather than what can I get from this? Figure out a need and look to fill it. Something meaningful will manifest. Even if what manifests is small, it is a sign that the doors of opportunity will swing open wider. There is also meaning to this card to consider. Don't try to be all things to all people. Choose your role and be true to it, and serve from a sense of authenticity. There is no greater feeling of accomplishment than knowing you have purpose. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well. So yeah, like I said, on the one hand, it looks like you do want to withdraw a little bit, or at least, if you do show up, right, you're like, okay, I get it. It's my birthday. Let me come out. Let me interact with people. When there's a party, it does seem like you're going to be a little bit more withdrawn. But this looks like it's encouraging you to take part in these groups this month. So hope that resonated with you guys. Once again, happy birthday, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.